You are now listening to the podcast for geeks and the stuff they love, where each week we'll talk about everything from anime to movies, games, and prop collecting with the people who create and love it. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Vince.
I'm James.
And this is your Geek Fix.
So I mentioned last time that Propstore actually contacted us and said, hey, you know, we have this other... She contacts us pretty frequently, actually, and says, hey, we got this thing going on. Can you promote it? And then we... Even if we do choose to, it's usually too late. It's all good.
Life finds a way.
Yeah, everything I'm going to be showing you actually technically sold, but the purpose of this one is not just what they had. Just so I can share it here for you. What they had wasn't just an auction like they normally do of props and stuff. This one was of movie posters. And the movie posters are movies that are classics. I mean, I'll say that they are all classics. Some of them cult classics, and you know, I mean, I've shared before. I have my Forbidden Planet. I love some of the posters that are like Forbidden Planet or even King Kong, things like that. You know, they're real classics, classic movies that, you know, were kind of big deals. And so, at the same time, some of these, are kind of funny. You can see the poster I have up right now.
Yeah.
So this is, do you know the movie?
Well, it says there, it says you only live twice.
Oh, it does give it up at the top. I put it up there. Yeah. You only live twice. Have you ever seen it though?
No.
I saw it back in the day. My dad's a huge James Bond fan. So, you know, I saw every single James Bond, even the ones I probably shouldn't have. But at the same time, so I had seen this before. I had vague memories of it. But then I heard, you know, I was watching, I think it was Abroad in Japan, and Chris on there had brought up this movie because it's filmed in Japan, 100%. You know, it was filmed in really famous locations as well and stuff with famous actors that are Japanese actors. I mean, you know, so you'd think that they would go all out in making sure that it was that it wasn't offensive, I guess you could say. If you watch it now, you'll be blown away at what this movie is like. So let me see if I can switch this over here real quick. So
it's like everybody speaks with an accent.
Oh, worse than, well, that's part of it. So what's funny about this is they have this scene where, you know, because he's going to go undercover, where basically ninjas are being trained and stuff. So at any rate, so of course they say, well, he's got to become Japanese. So this is Sean Connery, by the way. This is the 007 that we're talking about. So they take Sean Connery and they put a really bad wig on him. They put a little bit of makeup at the corners of his eyes, and then they use sellotape to pull back his eyes.
Oh wow! Oh man!
And then you know, keep in mind too, this guy's like 6'2", right? So compared to everyone else in the movie, and he's trying to blend in the whole time. He'll like hunch over, and he has a hat on here and there, but for the most part, he's trying to blend in with people, and he never changes his accent, and barely learns Japanese. So he's like. Yeah. German guys. Yeah. Like the whole time he keeps this, basically barely says the words right.
Yeah.
What's funny is, so this is okay. So I think the reason why I had a hard time finding this is actually, I'm going to try and find the better originals of this, but at the same time, can you hear the sound too?
No, it's very choppy.
Okay, because I want to keep that out. But what's funny about this is, so he's trying to blend in right here, and you can even see every time I watch it now, you see people reacting to him, and I picture they're thinking to themselves, "Is he really Japanese?" That guy's not Japanese, is he? Every single scene that comes up and stuff,
he looks like a Frankenstein with his wig on.
It's so bad.
But this was 1967 or something.
Yep. There he is, right there. Oh yeah, they also darkened his skin. They like put makeup on it, and stuff. But yeah, the whole time, all I can picture is just every time they show somebody looking at him, they're thinking, "Is this guy really Japanese?" Yeah, look at that. That's
I think. Oh wow.
You can see the corners of the eyes.
Like,
yeah, that's right. And he has. Chris, I couldn't get rid of his standard eyebrows. He has the big, thick Sean Connery eyebrows. But at any rate, there he is walking along with everybody else. You see how much bigger he is than everyone else?
Yeah, he's hunching. Man.
Anyway, yeah, it's pretty funny.
I think my dad was also a very big James Bond fan, so I think I might have seen it. But my first James Bond movie was License to Kill.
Oh yeah. Oh really?
Yeah. So
that's great.
That dates me, I guess.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's an example of some of the stuff that they had. The other ones. Let's see.
Cultural insensitivities that they had at the time, I guess.
Oh yeah.
But again, I mean, Japan didn't have the boom yet from the 80s. Like it's the same joke they make in Back to the Future, where Doc Brown says, "Oh, it's Japanese," and then Marty says, "Oh, they make the best stuff,"
Right.
I think also it was very unknown for people to actually get there and film there initially. And how to handle those things from a personal perspective. I mean, you have a lot of technical people and script writing people, and Hollywood people are kind of out of place and out of touch.
You know what's funny? Speaking of like Michael J. Fox and Family Ties. Family Ties became a big hit eventually in Japan, fairly recently. And I remember seeing several interviews when people ask on the news, they would ask people from America, about America. One of the questions they would always ask is it really true? Like, do people wear shoes inside the house like they do in Family Ties? Because they just walk around, walking around the house. They see them walking around the house with their shoes on. They're like, what the? How are these people? But at any rate. But yeah, here's another example of one of the posters.
Wow.
So this one says Jeepers Creepers. This movie is actually very important to me because when I was a kid, this was a movie that I was born not even close to when this was made. This was made, several years, like back when my parents were, even when my parents were kids, they would have been too young.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Abbott and Costello was still like, you'd watch those movies at your friends' houses for like sleepovers and stuff. This movie though is a big deal because it's known to be one of the biggest classic movies and horror movies ever because of everybody that they got to be in it. It wasn't just Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein, which they don't technically meet Frankenstein. They meet Frankenstein's monster. Just to clarify for all the geeks out there, they're going to make some comment.
They make note of it in the poster. They say the monster, not Frankenstein.
Oh, they do? Oh,
yeah.
Where's that at?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Is this? Oh, do you see the current one? Oh, yeah, you do. So, but at the same time, they also get to meet the Wolfman, and they get to meet Dracula, who are all the original. Like when you think of Dracula and you think of Frankenstein and stuff, and you think of the original movies that were made. These are the original actors, Bela Lugosi and stuff like that. And the makeup, most importantly, all done by the same person. It came to do the same makeup for this movie.
So this is a bit like the legacy actor movies that we're seeing right now, right?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. Where this is almost their universe kind of thing. Of course, in this movie, Frankenstein belongs to Dracula. Dracula owns him, and then the Wolfman is like a friend. As I remember, I didn't watch the full movie recently, just to kind of give you a little view of
Abbott and Costello is something that I only know of via cultural osmosis. I've never seen anything of them. I just know their names from pop culture. Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, you gotta watch this though. This is a classic. So here's a
same thing with the Marx Brothers and the Three Stooges.
Oh, yeah.
I've never seen anything.
Never seen that. I always like the Abbott and Costello most, but like so we're watching a scene right now. So here, Costello's, we got him.
Was he a postman or a chief or?
He's supposed to be a policeman.
All right.
And then Abbott shows up here in a few minutes. But
and fun fact, most likely the whole scene is actual pink and blue and yellow and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah,
because of the black and white.
And changed to it. I mean, this is Bela Lugosi playing Dracula. He hypnotizes him. They do the classic. They even do the exact shot that's from the original movie of Dracula right there, where you got the close up of the eyes, and covering his mouth and his nose and stuff. And then he goes and he wakes up Frankenstein next. And the way that he wakes up Frankenstein, also, well, the Frankenstein monster, whatever you guys, just leave me alone. He goes in and does it just like the movie too. So he does the little thing at the sides to get it electrically charged, and then resetting the eyes. So there he is.
The windows start.
Look at that. You got some good effects going on there.
Oh wow, yeah.
Look at that. Yeah.
And then your Windows XP going beep boop boop.
Yeah, this is where they would have gone in and painted after the fact, and then superimposed it. Which superimposition it was a big deal. You had to be cut out and everything else. Yeah. But here he goes, and then he's waking up and things. I mean, what a classic! That's a great movie. If you haven't seen it, honestly, it holds up. I got to watch it again just recently. With my family, and I was surprised because I was like, oh, they're probably not going to hang in there and watch it. And even though it's black and white, it kind of needs to be black and white because it really does come across as the original movie did, and then it throws in some of the humor pieces too.
And I think also that's something that people of our and younger generations might not know, but there's like a whole fount of good movies that are maybe, by public knowledge, like as I said before with cultural osmosis, about Dracula, but have you seen Dracula?
Right.
And all that kind of stuff. So there are some like the Criterion collection, they try to make sure that those movies are available for everybody.
Yeah.
Some of them are public domain. You can watch just everywhere, basically.
Yeah.
But cinema was actually really good in the past. And also with special effects. Like I watched Corridor Crew, like Corridor Digital.
Yeah.
And they have like a visual artist react. And then you see like some insane scenes that they have managed to do with the technology of the day that would most likely be impossible to do nowadays. So that kind of stuff is really interesting.
Speaking of which, I mean, this would be the next movie's one that they would talk about. Now this one's been remade more recently, and is a good example of what you're saying. Like the remake can't touch this original. So the original used only practical effects. Did you ever see the original American Werewolf in London? Oh, it's a classic, and I'm going to tell you all the reasons why. The poster seems really simple, and honestly, so unless you were into and knew how special this movie is, it'd be hard to be able to think that it was that great. This is the poster they had for sale right there. But let's see here. I want to show you.
This is 1961.
Is it 1961? Jeez.
From the poster.
I saw this when I was a kid. Again, probably shouldn't have. I had a friend who had cable, but at the same time, my parents also told me about it because it was that unique. So what's great about this version is first off, it doesn't just follow the standard. Oh yeah, he's the story is you got these two tourists. They go to London, American tourists from New York, go to London, and then both of them get attacked by a werewolf, and one of them gets killed. The friend gets killed, and then
81. Sorry.
Yeah, and 81. That makes more sense because it was in my lifetime, and I saw it not too long after it came out. But at the same time, so the friend gets killed. But what I like about the movie, and one of the clever things is that one of the first things that happens before he first changes is that the friend keeps visiting him, and each time the friend visits him, he's like decompensating.
Am I asleep now?
Like he knows that the friend's dead,
I realize I don't.
but at the same time, so first time the friend shows up, he's like, and the friend's hilarious. He's kind of the comic relief. aside from the fact that he's showing up and he's dead, he's funny. He tells about his funeral, that he saw the funeral and that his girlfriend went and had an affair the night of his funeral and stuff and things like that. But at the same time, it's a clever idea. It's fun how they did that piece. And then so this is the transformation scene, which is what the Corridor Crew, I bet you the Corridor Crew, I'm pretty sure did do a thing on it. I'm gonna have to censor out. There's a little bit of nudity here for a second, but at the same time, this is practical effects only. And so everything had to be done in stages upon stages upon stages. So puppetry, like this right here. So they show his hand starts stretching things. So they had they have this puppeteering hand that literally stretches. This is by the same effects artist, by the way, that did The Thing. So if you're aware of the original The Thing. The original The Thing movie.
Do The Thing, okay.
Yeah, they made that one thing. Then you're probably familiar with the kind of effects and what this looks like. Like his feet are stretching out, the hands and stuff. They do an effect too where they filmed hair being pulled into the body that they had, and then they reversed it. So it looks like the hair's growing out of him.
Oh wow!
And then they have like muscles and things like that. They had all these puppeteers to be pushing stuff, and then they'd have them acting again in multiple prosthetics. This took months to film a scene in this location. This part you can tell it's through the floor. They have him, his body, top of his body must be through the floor, and then the rest of the body's all stretched out and pulled and stuff, and then. The big famous piece is still coming up, but so he's getting really hairy at this point. He's got the claws and stuff. The fangs are growing out, and then all of a sudden they got Mickey watching him. Mickey Mouse is in his room. Yeah, I think they did some stop motion here.
Yeah,
but a lot of this is just them pushing. They have rubber foam and latex that's just being stretched out. But anyway.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's visceral.
It's pretty crazy. Yeah, look at the ribs and stuff like that appearing and stuff. I mean, if you haven't seen it, that's another one to check out. But any rate, so I got that one. Then, if we're sticking on kind of the spooky realm of things, let's see here. Here we go. Then we've got, let's see here. We did that one. Yeah. Then we got to move on to Attack of the 50-foot woman.
Yeah, I did a one-off for D&D called the Attack of the 50-foot Werewolf, and that's the same thing, but as a werewolf.
Oh, that's right. Did you ever see this movie?
I think bits of it because it was so, the whole thing about it, but basically it's what's on the poster. That bit. I
gotta share the audio on this because the audio is part of what's funny about this one. This is a classic. They invested actually a bit of money into building a miniature city and stuff. Basically, picture Godzilla, except they just got a model. And she came in and they had her, destroyed. The whole thing, too, was that she slowly gets bigger. So the storyline is, here, I'll open up the video first here. Let's see. Here we go. So, whoops. There it goes. Wait. Hang on. Okay. It was running kind of smooth.
For me, as a movie buff and a collector and that kind of stuff, the auction of selling off movie posters, it doesn't have that much provenance. Putting it back to something like this was
the thing on this auction is kind of twofold. One, so this would be like going to buy a comic book. If you're really big into comic books, that's a first print. So these are first prints.
Okay, yeah.
A
And
couple of the ones
also
they
from
sold.
the time that they got released, then
Yeah, and the couple of them were also one of the ones I saw at least was basically the template for doing the poster.
Okay.
So it was in layers.
So it's pretty. If you're into movie posters, then this is like the holy grail stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's truly for people that are collectors of that, which is that. I mean, that's why they do what they do, right? It's
not for me because I just rather buy a print or print it myself.
Right. It's like I can get that online. You know what I mean? But on the flip side,
I would have it signed by the author and the money going to the person who made it.
Right.
And it was just, this was a movie poster made back in the day for 1 million cinemas, and we just have 2 of them or something.
Right. Boy, I wish I could share the audio on this one. So shock. I love the stuff that says shock, frenzy, devastation. Of course, this is just forced perspective. Some of them too. Her hand in front of the camera, and so it looks bigger. They had a lot of models. Yeah. My favorite though is this hand. They have this hand of the monster that touched her the first time, that gave her made her start to grow. She met this giant thing, which they never showed the giant thing. It was just a big orb deal. But check out that hand. So they built one prop that was a big rubber hand, and at one point in time it grabs the car, and it literally just kind of like gets thrown onto the car and stuff. But yeah, so she's slowly growing. People think she's just crazy. And this is all about the fact that her boyfriend has a girl, this girl right here. What's funny about this scene, if you could hear the sound, is there's no music playing, but there's a couple in the background dancing. What's that?
Is that the guy who does the finger like Get Out or something?
Oh no. he wants to put her away so he can get her money because she has money. But on the flip side, there was a couple. There's the hand. Oh, wow. But there's the scene where the people are dancing in the background. There's no music playing during that. It's just dancing.
Oh, I
think they meant to put in music later on.
But I mean,
it's a black and white movie.
I assume for the time being that would be very spicy to see her wearing a bra, the kind of bikini kind of thing. Like that would be very adult to show, I guess.
Oh yeah, this is the era of the drive-in cult movies, right?
All right.
And so trying to attract using the sexiness factor, but on the flip side, it also had to be it was campy and cheap. So something that probably took them a month to film,
and with enough time for teenagers to smooch during the movie and still get the plot.
Yeah. And then so of course they have some like hot scenes and stuff like that for that time. But at the same time, it's a classic though. It's been remade a billion times. It's made fun of all the time. It's for such a movie that I think was probably not a big movie even back then.
But just the notoriety of the name and the actual way they handled it.
That's exactly it. So you see this. You don't see anything yet. The one last ones I want to cover that I like that they had, which I couldn't believe that they actually had this poster, because I don't think that many people know what it is. Have you ever seen this poster before, Vinz? Or do you know what movie this goes to?
Like it's the Attack of the Titans.
Obviously, it's an Asian movie. What's that?
Attack of the Titans.
It's Attack of the Mushroom People.
Of the Mushroom
Which they renamed for the English version. They named it. It says it on this trailer. But honestly, the English version's awesome to see because it is so badly. It's not badly translated. They decided to change a lot of things in it, but some of the stuff that they'll say is funny. So I'll even tell you some of the stuff.
With American Godzilla, like they intercut other actors that aren't part of the original movie, that kind of stuff.
Well, if anyone's ever watched the thing I always liked about Power Rangers, that was a TV show made, that that they made over, in Asia, but then when they bring it over
Super
here,
Sentai.
they filmed scenes that were, the American based scenes. But whenever they grew up, whenever they turned into the what did they call the thing when it was
The
all
Megazord.
together? The
But actual,
Megazord,
most
the swords and
fighting
stuff.
scenes were also from the series. Just they basically stitched together all the fighting scenes in the big kaiju battles.
Which was a problem because they were supposed to be in Orange County or something like that, and then when they cut back, they'd be fighting inside of some city that was obviously, it was like a Godzilla movie city, where they'd have they'd have things that were obviously not California based, but at the same time,
me as a Dutch kid wasn't really bothered by that because I loved it to bits. And I never found out until I was deep into like history, and you had Secret Galaxy, like Dan from Toy Galaxy or Secret Galaxy now, doing the bits about the history of until before that, or the toys that made us, or the movies that made us. Before that, I didn't really know anything about that.
About most of those things. Well, this one, like I said, the Matango, that's what they renamed it to. So if you're trying to find this to watch it in English, it's probably under the name Matango. But the original version was called Attack of the Mushroom People. And so the whole idea being that basically this group of people,
seaweed, fish, and turtle's eggs. Anything we can eat, as well as snakes and lizards.
Just let me finish.
Just let me finish.
There's a lot of grass growing around here. You can eat the roots.
Doesn't make sense.
You can eat the roots of a lot of plants here.
The thing was that they're not allowed to eat any of the mushrooms. So they tell them you can eat anything you want to survive, but you can't eat the mushrooms. And eventually people are like, I can't eat anything. And so they're starving themselves, and they start to go a little bit crazy. They start attacking each other. And eventually, of course, somebody has to eat the mushrooms. And then, it results in this monstrous thing that occurs. And so, anyway, classic movie that you'll enjoy every second of because it's so badly
done. And the
done.
thing is, you see them with makeup making a bit more pill than they are actually, just to adhere to the Hollywood kind of vibe, right?
Yeah. I don't know how long after they made it that they finally released it in the US or where they redubbed it. But again, this would be one that you'd probably go to see. Anything that says Attack of probably was a drive-in movie. Type of thing. On an island of doom. There they are. That's a mushroom person right there. There's another mushroom person. Yeah. This film never ceased. Did you see that part?
Matango.
Yeah. That's
there
a
is
good
also
one.
the what they call the Wu-Tang collection, and I assume someone associated with that group or whatever they call it.
Really?
They have I believe, I'm not sure what the history is, but I saw some of them on YouTube. It's a channel where they have redubbed Asian kung fu movies most often.
And
they have the
Those
full
are
movies.
great.
So I think they imported them and just redubbed them themselves.
Yeah.
But some affiliation with the Wu-Tang Clan, like the rap group, is there. But some of those fights is just insane. And it's a super serious fight scene, and people are talking like this. It's great.
Yeah.
But
Kung
it's
Pao level.
that kind of stuff. But then half serious. It's they take it to the level that they want to dub everything correctly, and the text should work. But the voices is just two people basically having to do an ensemble cast, and they just have to use the voices that they can do. And it's great.
If anyone's ever wondered what's inside this couch, because the bottom of this couch is a storage area, and the whole storage area is kung fu movies because I'm a huge collector of. Now I would probably just do it all online, but some of the stuff I have down here you can't even get online. But I love. I love old kung fu, the old ones, the old kung fu movies and stuff. They just can't be beat. But yeah, just thought I'd share some of those things so that I did tell Propster, hey, we'll talk about the posters and things. And at the same time, these movies, I just thought, man, we got to talk about these movies. People have to check them out. If you have a movie that you like, or if you just saw one of these movies, or you're gonna go check it out, comment below, let us know.
If you've enjoyed this podcast and want more, stay tuned for that, but also check out our channel, join the community on YouTube that goes by the same name, your Geek Fix. Be sure to check out Vinz on Twitter at massivedmg_ and on his YouTube channel, massivedmg. Check out James at Mr. Malto4 on Instagram and the Replica Prop Forum. We also want to hear from you, so be sure to send your questions, stories, and other projects to yourgeekfix@gmail.com. In the meantime, this has been your Geek Fix.